Cancer, welcome back to the Renaissance Tarot. Welcome to your funny and your most favorite Armenian guy, where I serve and I slay. So today, dear Cancer, I'm going to be doing your twin flame reading for the month of February, and this will be a general reading, so it may resonate with you, it may not. However, it is also specific for the group of Cancers who know that they're on a twin flame journey. So my cutie patootie, looking all this so yummy. In this reading, I'm going to be taking a look at the overall energy between you and your twin flame. I'm going to see what happened in the past, present, and future, clarify all the cards, and get some final advice. So Cancer, I have had such a productive day, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, I had the water signs left for the twin flame reading series for this month, and I was going to do this the day after, but I was like, no, I'm not going to let my water signs sit there and wait. So I decided to serve this message. It's quite late here, but sometimes the messages come very strong late time as well. And yeah, I did a lot of very early spring cleaning today. I had a long day. Basically cleaned my wardrobe, you know, clean up all the dust and everything. It was great, actually. Felt really liberating to declutter. So maybe that's something that you might be wanting to do as well. And I also bought myself some flowers. Some sassy shit, honey. Let's see what's going on for your twin flame journey. It's a very intense connection, and you already know that. So, dear Cancer, the energy between you and your twin flame is the High Priestess. And what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, you have the Justice. Some of you are dealing with the Libra, Virgo. Okay, could be a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Could be a Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Now, the overall energy is the High Priestess. Actually, this is a very strong indication of the spiritual connection that you feel you have with this person. Okay, the High Priestess, it represents the divinity. It represents the divine wisdom, the divine connection here, and also the hidden things. I do see here you going through a lot. I'm going to talk about this in a second, but you have a lot of question marks on your head. I'm seeing here group of Cancers who have these big question marks above their heads about this connection, because sometimes the High Priestess can also mean mystery. Something here seems to be mysterious to you and you keep questioning something. We're going to talk about this shortly. In the recent past, you have the Four of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Four of Swords. Cancer, in the recent past, you already knew that when you met your twin flame, this was a destined partnership with the Wheel of Fortune. But I'm also getting with the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Swords, your twin flame started pulling back. There was a closed off energy between you and your twin flame. And that's also usually what happens when the twin flames, they meet up. They tend to gravitate towards each other very strongly. But also there is a push and pull energy, and then there is a runner and a chaser dynamic, and there is a separation period. During the separation period, there is a lot that happens. And this can actually propel you and them forward to a major transformation and healing, which can bring you back together. So, but I do see here them pulling back and closing off, and a lot of you started healing. A lot of you went within yourself, started meditating more, going deeper into spirituality, because you're someone, Cancer, you're a very spiritual sign, and you tend to ask questions. You tend to really go within yourself and ask God, the universe, why is this happening? Why am I going through this? So you were asking a lot of questions. Now, Cancer, in the present moment, I see here many of you are going through some sort of a painful situation. It's been very debilitating. It's been very challenging for a lot of you. You know, with the Two of Swords, you're going back and forth, and you're really telling yourself and asking yourself, is this really the connection that I want to really hang on to? Is this something that I really want to continue pursuing or not? Obviously, there has been a very painful ending between you and your twin flame. I see here a lot of you going through something very tough, and I'm sending you the biggest hug out there. We're going to clarify this and find out. In the near future, you have the Page of Swords, Page of Wands, Five of Swords. You know, one of the things that I see here between you and your twin flame is that there is constant arguments that has happened in the past with the Five of Swords, and that's something that you need to be aware of. And I need to prepare you for this, okay? Because there might be an opportunity here to have a conversation, right? To have a talk. But one of the things that you both need to really work on, because remember, dear Cancer, that this is not a blame game. This is about things that are being mirrored back to back. There is a certain level of connection, okay, a different kind of connection with the twin flame, that it tends to activate certain things within us and trigger things for healing. So one of the things and one of the pitfalls is just the way that things get communicated amongst each other. And that is something that needs to be really looked into, because you have had many moments with your twin flame where both of you got into some sort of an argument. But what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, you have the Six of Cups, the Justice, and the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so your twin flame tends to come back, especially we are going to be entering into the pre-shadow period of the Mercury retrograde, which is going to take place from February 26th to March 20th, and this is going to be very significant, especially it's going to be in your fellow water sign. Six of Cups always talk about a soul connection, someone coming back and wanting to make things right with you. Now, to get further information, we are going to get into your reading and we're going to clarify all the cards for you, dear Cancer. So let's clarify the High Priestess. I see here you having a lot of questions, asking yourself a lot of questions, trying to connect the dots to understand what is going on. So the High Priestess is clarified by the Four of Swords, the High Priestess again, and the Queen of Wands. It's not a surprise. And you have the Knight of Wands. This person could be someone that maybe they're younger than you and could be from a different culture as well. For many of you, dear Cancer, I am strongly getting that, with the High Priestess again, you're doing a lot of work within, truly. Okay, you could be really getting into meditation, or you could be doing more breath work, or maybe you made a promise to yourself that you're going to do more breath work and nervous system regulation. I think this situation really has transformed your mind about yourself. You've started to really look at yourself from a higher perspective. You have started to take yourself more seriously also, because I think in the past you abandoned yourself. Okay, you get way too much into this relationship. Now, for many of you, what you're really trying to understand is that, is this person someone that I see myself being next to me? You have the Queen of Wands. You could be a male Cancer watching, female Cancer. So you could be someone that you're the King of Wands or a Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is alone here. So you're basically wanting to know if this person is truly, if this twin flame is really the one for you to wait, okay, to develop a relationship with further and to really settle down, because we all have free will and we all have this ability to move on if you want to, even though it can be very challenging, right? So you're asking yourself that question, Cancer. This is about your future. This is about partner that you really take very seriously. Okay, so Cancer, in the recent past with the Four of Pentacles, I see here that this person, okay, this twin flame of yours started pulling back. The Four of Pentacles is clarified by the King of Cups, the Hangman, and the Ten of Swords. As a result, I think there is something here that really you couldn't see clearly yet, okay? You really didn't understand why did your twin flame all of a sudden left? Why did they started pulling back? And there might have been there was a sudden ending is what I'm getting. I'm getting here a tower moment that might have happened between you and your twin flame, and it brought things to an end, and it was very excruciating and very painful for many of you. Now, the Wheel of Fortune in the recent past, dear Cancer, is clarified by the Ten of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles. A lot of you were almost on the way or halfway of either marrying with this person, engaging with your twin flame, building a house together. And you see the Five of Pentacles. There is something about your twin flame having a gambling addiction is what I'm picking up intuitively. Money problems, financial addictions, financial mishandling is what I'm getting also, okay, financial problems. And you really had seen yourself building an empire with this person in the past. But unfortunately, there is a lot of abandonment issues, abandonment wounds that came out to the surface. I do feel like here that your person had some sort of secret depression, or maybe they had something going on that they were not telling anybody. That's what I'm picking up on. Four of Swords. In the recent past, for many of you, really started going within yourself. A lot of you realized that you did a lot of research. I think, Cancer, you did a lot of research. You started really asking a lot of questions, but some things were very unclear. So sometimes, forgiveness is the easiest in silence. Just as like Adele says, go easy or hold on. Four of Swords is clarified by the Seven of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Three of Wands. So in the recent past, for many of you, you went within yourself. You were doing a lot of introspection, going within yourself, but you were still anticipating to see if there could be another opportunity between you and your twin flame, if both of you could actually have a brand new beginning and start over, because you truly loved your person. You might have even had a lot of options in front of you in the past. You might have had this person or that person, but you still wanted to see if things could work out between you and your twin flame. 10-10, by the way. Your twin flame is also someone, they travel a lot, or they went somewhere else. Maybe they live near a body of water. Maybe you live body of water. And I'm getting curious, someone's background is either Italian, Spanish, or Greek. Now, in the present moment, you have the Two of Swords. There is a decision here that needs to be made. I think this pain has been very difficult. It's been very difficult because the more you keep questioning, the harder it gets. The Two of Swords, is clarified by the Temperance, the Page of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. You question whether this person, whether this twin flame is someone that you really would want to fully settle down or not. I think you are still ready to heal things with this person, but only if they are ready to take some sort of accountability for what they have done. There is something here about their lack of responsibility. They either do things and they just run away. There is a very running escapism. They may do things they may escape from, and you may be still dealing with this person or be dealt with in the past, but it's just been very difficult for you to be on a roller coaster. So I'm saying, and you have the Ten of Swords. So there is a lot that's happening, Cancer. The Ten of Swords is clarified by the Justice, Libra energy, the Knight of Swords, and the Three of Cups. You want to reconcile with this person and you want justice. You know what I'm saying? It's been very tough. It's been very difficult. You're still wanting to see if there will be an opportunity to heal things with them. But with the Knight of Swords, there is something here that your twin flame needs to get rid of. There is a third-party situation that your twin flame needs to cut off. The third party could be a connection, toxic connection with someone. It could be a situation. Your person also seems to be focused on work right now. Now you are still staying up late at night. You're still kind of really contemplating what to do, what is the right course of action for you. So the Nine of Swords is clarified by the Three of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the Emperor. For many of you, you're either you're stressed out about the fact that this person hasn't moved towards you yet. They haven't contacted you yet. They haven't talked to you yet, whether they really see this relationship building, whether they see themselves investing into this relationship or not. Someone here also could be a parent, like a single parent, could be you, could be the other person. I'm getting the Emperor energy. So there is a lot of stress. You're dealing with someone who also has a very difficult personality. So your twin flame tends to really trigger a lot of things. I think you could be an empath, or you could be someone that you very deeply feel, and they tend to come across as being very detached and cold-hearted. It's giving Aquarius energy. Cancer, Page of Swords, there is a possibility of some sort of a conversation that may come through. So the Page of Swords is clarified by the Fool, the Eight of Wands, and the Four of Wands. Now, the Eight of Wands in tarot, on my definition, and also in general, this is about communication and action, fast action being taken. I always refer this to as the 5G. This is an incoming news, this is an incoming notification, conversation. And I'm sure many of you are also very much familiar with tarot. So this new communication is associated with having a brand new beginning. The Fool and the Four of Wands. Brand new beginning, fresh start, wanting to start over again. And there is a Page of Wands. There is a lot of ideas about how this is going to happen. So they do want to talk about it. But again, you need to be aware of some sort of a potential conflict that in the past used to take place, and that is something that you both want to avoid. The Page of Wands is clarified by the King of Swords, King of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords. For some of you, respectfully, this could be a same-sex situation. Doesn't have to be. No judgment on my channel. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So one of the things that I see here that you and this person need to be very much aware of is that money or financial situation, if that is causing a lot of problems, if that was one of the reasons, or someone's inability to handle money or to bring in money, that's something that really needs to be talked about and discussed openly, okay? Because I'm seeing here that, it could have been in the beginning between your twin flame. It could have been a molehill turning into a mountain. And there is something here that I'm getting somebody kept suppressing their feelings, and it kept accumulating, and it became basically this champagne and then just popped out one day. So I'm saying, so that's why with the Three of Swords in the near future, you both are going to need to have a conversation and also discuss about this Five of Swords. You both are going to basically avoid the conflicts, the potential conflicts that happen. Five of Swords is clarified by the Four of Cups, Page of Cups, and the Chariot. So I feel like that for many of you, there is something here about Cancer. You deciding that, for example, if you were to apologize, okay, that is your card, Cancer. That's the Chariot, one of my favorite cards. If you were to apologize and if they reject one more time, or if they seem to be very much closed up, that's you thinking about making an apology or initiating a conversation. If this person, if your twin flame, listen, if they tend to be very much closed off and they're ignoring and they're not accepting this offer here, right? This offer, Cancer, that you are making, then I think you already know the answer. Because you're someone that you have a very important year ahead. By the way, this is going to be a very significant year for all the Cancers. So you want to make sure you're not sabotaging your joy and your happiness. You know, sometimes closures can happen within ourselves. Sometimes it can happen when you have a conversation. But when your twin flame is not ready yet, then it is best to just kind of retreat. I know that you truly take care. You want to really care of your twin flame. You want to make sure that they're all fine and you both are on the same page. But everyone is on their own journey, and I'm sure you know that. You know, so we're going to see what is the important advice here, dear Cancer, and what do you need to know. I really feel like I'm the GOAT because I'm saying I was not going to do this reading, but I'm doing this and it's almost midnight. But I'm going to serve and I'm going to slay. So I'm saying, so on Monday, you're going to have this reading. So Cancer, you have the Knight of Cups, the Strength, and the Death. You know, the love is very strong. The love is very strong, it's very intense. With the Strength card here, could be dealing with the Leo. You could have Leo in your birth chart. There is a transformation that needs to happen. Loving strong enough or saying words that you both love each other or they love you so much and they can't live without you or things like that is not enough. There needs to be transformation to happen with the Death card, and that's inevitable. And then there is a Knight of Cups for you and this person to move forward. The advice here for you is to really observe that and to see, has your twin flame really changed and transformed, and are they really living up to what they promised to do? Are they really being honest with you, Cancer? Because you have definitely invested so much into this relationship, and it's going to be very important for you to take into consideration your goals and your vision, because this person, your twin flame, needs to go through an ego death. They need to go through some sort of a internal transformation, radical changes within themselves for them to be able to come towards you. You know what I mean? The love is very strong between you and them. But this is also about you. This is also about action being taken. It is also about transparency and honesty, so that you are not just hanging in there, because you do have a lot of question marks. And there will be a time when there's going to be a conversation. I see here news coming in towards you in the month of February. But Cancer, you have an important decision here to make. And also don't forget about the fact that there maybe is or there was addictions, and those things need to be really taken very seriously. Okay, so that is something here very important that I want to mention. Dear Cancer, this is what I had for you. Thank you very much for being here. I love you so much. I hope that this reading helped and brought some clarity. I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.